I dig those glasses, everybody. Come on in. House Party Live, Comcast Sportsnet. It's the Sacramento Kings and the Miami Heat. The High Flyers, Henry Turner, Kayte Christensen, and I am Jim Kozimor. The three of us make up the bulk of the show. Good to be back home.
Actually, you're the bulk of the show.
I am? Are you saying I'm a little heavy? You're saying I'm a little heavy.
You're
slim, but you're the bulk of the show.
As he would say, you're getting diesel up in here.
Our stylist says I'm getting a fat face, and you're saying I'm getting chunky. That's how that goes. How does that work here, Henry?
You look good.
Up for your boy.
You look good.
I look good?
I'm not taking it that way.
No, you're not?
I know you're going to go the female side. Like, did you just call me fat?
I know, exactly. That's where I'm at on this thing. Kings and Heat ready to play. Last time they played wasn't so good. In fact, the entire road trip not so good. Sacramento has to be happy to be getting back to the home court.
Happy to be home because before they left, their goal was to go 3-2 on this road trip, and they're coming back 1-4. And there's never ever going to be a better time to come and play at home than after you've lost 4 in a row.
I have a pet peeve, Henry, and that pet peeve is a lot of people use this cute little saying, and that saying has to go that, well, that first game off a long road trip, that first game at home feels like another road game. That is a bunch of malarkey. You're sleeping in your own bed. You've got all the fans in the building want you to win as opposed to the last 5 games you played. So don't give me that. The Kings should have everything in their favor tonight.
Well, you know what? You're back in your comfort zone, Jim. You're back on your own floor. You have your crowd here. Everyone here wants you to win. You're on your own baskets. You're familiar with the place. And you got your 6-man behind you. The Sacramento Kings should be lucky and should be happy to be back here in Arkansas.
All right, here's what happened over the last 5 ball games. And for Sacramento fans, they know the Kings are mere 1-4. But what bothers me and a lot of Kings fans, guys, is the fact that one individual player seemed to torch the Kings in all 5 games. It started in Charlotte. Jason Richardson, a huge game that helped the Bobcats get to the overtime, but they couldn't stop him.
Well, most teams have about a 2-man punch where they have 2 great scorers that do the majority of their scoring, and Ron can't defend 2 people at one time. So somebody, whoever it is, whether it's a big man that has to step up or another guard, needs to step up defensively, especially on the road, and pick up some of the slack.
And, well, defense is effort. That's all it is out there, and it's going to be a team effort out there to stop people in the paint because they're scoring effortless in the paint. And I think Reggie needs to go back to the old theory of you're going to play if you play defense.
Sean Marion had 20, defeated the Sacramento Kings. The next night, the Kings saw that familiar face, Mike Bibby, 24 points, 12 assists. He torched them.
Well, Sean is having fun right now because he's playing on a team that isn't necessarily in the hunt for the playoffs, as we all know. So he's having fun out there, getting familiar with his teammates, and just really just playing.
Now, at the end of the trip, the Kings in Dallas, they take on the Mavs, and Dirk Nowitzki was everything. He had 34 points, and the Kings had no answer. This one made me cry right here, Henry.
And when you think of the Big D, you think of Dirk Nowitzki. And with the arrival Jason Kidd, he just rejuvenated Dirk's game. And the Big D is going to be something to reckon with in the West.
All right, this is what the numbers look like over the 5-game road trip. Record not so great. They were losing by nearly 11 points a game, giving up 115 almost. You can't win too many games. You're giving up 114 plus.
You can't win home games giving up 114 points. So there is something that has to happen right now where this defensive team comes together. And I think, like Henry said earlier, maybe Reggie might people that are giving consistent defensive effort because mathematically out of the playoffs right now. So you need to go back and instill some things that will carry over into next season.
I don't want to beat it over the head a little bit, but when you break it down a little more, not just were the Kings giving up a lot of points, Henry, they were giving up a lot of easy points. Second shots, transitions, layups, dunks. They gave up almost 45, actually more than 45 points a game in the paint the 5-game trip.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to win basketball games. Letting players just come to the hole when they get ready, alley-oop dunks. They're going to have to tighten it up on the interior side of the defense because this is ridiculous. There's no way you're going to even be competitive that way.
Say interior defense, they automatically think that you're talking about your post defenders. That's not the case. Right now you're having guards that are taking people to the layups, alley-oop plays. Basically, the help side needs to come into play because if someone gets beat off the dribble, someone has to be in the key to help, whether it's a post player or a guard.
Can this team be a better defensive team? Maybe we're over-evaluating them. Maybe we think they can good, but they just don't have the capabilities of being defensive.
I think they can. The main thing on defense is effort, Jim. It comes from the heart. It has nothing to do with skill. It's all about, do you want to play defense? And, you know, like Kayte and I both said it, Reggie might have to go back to the old theory of, if you play defense, you play on my ball club. If you don't play defense, you won't get the minutes.
Kayte was giving me this. What kind of question is that? He's giving me the you never played look.
I am not.
Even though I never played, I can tell you that one guy did play well. His name's Spencer Hawes, and it's going to be important to watch this guy over the final third of the season. Kayte, let's start with you. Over 26 games, he averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds. He's going to start playing more. What should we look for?
Well, I have to say that the article in the Sacramento Bee I completely disagree with. Yes, he could have benefited from another year in college, but who couldn't? But the point is, I think he's going to improve at a steadier pace, playing against NBA competition day in and day out, and he's playing behind Brad Miller. He didn't come in here expecting to start and get big minutes. He came in here expecting to get better, help the team when he can, and you know what? He's starting to get rewarded for his work.
All right, let's ask you this one then. If he's going to get extra minutes and a chance to show what he can do, Henry, I'm going to start with you on this one. Does Spencer Hawes need to play with the regulars, the starters on this team, in order to get better at a higher level, or does it matter who's on the floor with him at any point in the game?
I really think he needs to play with the starters out there, because it's important for you as a player to get those guys to trust you and forget them to trust how you play out there on the basketball court. Once you get the confidence in those guys and they have the confidence in you, all you have to do is play basketball, and I think that's very important as a rookie.
I agree. Kayte?
Well, there's not much time for a response, but I completely disagree with that. I think playing is playing, getting on the court, no matter who it's with. You're playing against the other team. It's always great for you to improve and step up your game.
Wrong.
Ha!
Wrong.
Straight ahead, we talk about the two guys who might be the best two-way players in the game. Offense and defense, you never have to question. Sean Marion on one side, but Ron Artest for the Kings, and those two go toe-to-toe.